Good evening, how are you? Lovely to see you. If you don't know, my name's Helen Harrison. How are you? Hope you're having a great night. I've got a fantastic topic tonight. It's all about resentment and anger and whether perhaps you are actually settling. And knowing that you can actually do better, so whether it be in your relationship or whether it's in your life, you know that you're not speaking up, and you're irritated with yourself, and you know that you're settling, you know that you're not speaking up. And so tonight I want to uncover the real reasons why you're doing what you're doing, and you're going round and round and round, you keep getting the same results, and you're wondering why this is. So in this Facebook Live, I'm going to be taking a deep dive into the obstacles that you might not actually be aware of, because I know I wasn't. When I was sort of cycling and I was settling and I was in this resentment, and I didn't know how to get out of it. I almost felt like I was sort of swimming out in the ocean. There was no friggin' land in sight, but almost feeling, I remember like I was in sludge, like I was drowning. So it's what you may not be aware of what's actually preventing you from speaking up and being truly honest with yourself. I mean, that's the first thing, is being honest with yourself. And so tonight we're going to unlock the 3 surprises, because it is of rapid personal power. And we're going to identify the barriers that is actually delaying your growth. You gain clarity on the vital steps that are missing. You know, this is what I needed when I was in this place. And it's being able to learn really powerful approaches to reclaim your voice from the inside. You might go blah, blah, blah on the outside, but if you're not aligned with that inner voice and know what inside is really saying, the crap that comes out of your mouth is actually irrelevant, because you're not aligned with it. It's being able to actually break free from those that mind, you know, that just rattles on. I call it the mindset challenges that actually sabotage. And I know this because I did this to myself for years. I kept it all underground and I tried to figure it out in my head. This Facebook Live is going to be packed because I'm passionate about this, and I want to share what I've learned, what I've done, but also the 15 years of being in private practice as a counsellor, as a marriage therapist, and also working as a coach, and my own lived experiences. Look, it's all well and good. I can work with other people, but if you don't, if you can't do this yourself, so this is where I come from. It's very lived experiences. It's about trusting that voice inside and beginning creating what you really want, not what you're doing to please other people. This feeling resentment and this anger inside, it's a horrible place. So tonight it's about rapid personal power. You might have tried some of these things, because I know that I did, but I still wasn't connecting with that deep personal power within myself. So I embraced self-improvement. I was right into it, continuously working on skills, you know, knowledge and things that would boost my confidence, that made it look like I had it all going on. But inside, no one knew what I was really feeling inside. And self-improvement, look, it can look like almost an addiction to this constant information. So whether it was podcasts or books, or I was constantly looking for the next thing that's going to give me this voice, this next workshop, the next book, the next podcast is going to help me. So I tried that, and you might be able to relate to this. Also, speaking to your partner or working with a therapist. Yes, that is good. However, look, therapy is great. I am a therapist. So, however, the coaching world is very different. Therapy is talking therapy. It can be slow. You can just keep talking about the same thing over and over again. And so to be able to connect with that inner power source and really get to it, talking therapy isn't going to even hit the spot. Something else that I continuously do and did, I've tried this, of course, is self-care. Now, self-care is good. Yes, I get this. Taking care of your physical, your mental, your spiritual, your emotional well-being that's going to support your self-confidence. This is great. And prioritizing activities, I get that. However, that isn't enough. And also, lastly, being able to visualize success. So we're coming back to what you're settling into a relationship that perhaps isn't great, settling into a career that you're not fussed on, settling into how you treat yourself, and coming back to, you might have tried manifestation and visualization. All of that is good. I go on about this. If you've listened to anything that I talk about, I go on about this. I get this. However, there is something that stops us. When we have resentment and anger, and we're settling, and knowing that you can do better, either in your life or in your relationship, what is it that stops you? What do you think it is? It's fear, isn't it? It's fear. And I had so much fear. I've lived my whole life in fear. I don't have fear now, which is the work that I do with people right now, is how do you move that fear? Fear stops you from speaking up and having the life that you want, or having the partner that you want. And it's ready to get real and to get out of your own way. In this Facebook Live, I'm going to really dive deep into the obstacles. It's being able to unlock the secrets of your rapid personal power. And how do you speak up? Well, you begin speaking up with yourself first. It's about being really honest with yourself. So identifying the barriers to your growth so that you can gain clarity. And it's learning really powerful approaches to reclaim your voice. And it's breaking free from the mindset challenges like I talked into earlier. So the 9 common fears that I have heard over the years, working with individuals and couples, and also group work, but also my own fears. And so there are 9 common fears. And so do you relate to any of this? I'd love to hear, if you're listening to this live, put a comment in the comments, because I love to hear from you, but also for other people to hear, that they're not alone. We either live in fear or love. And so are you #live or #replay? Love to hear from you. Okay, so the first fear, I'm going to talk into these fears because I think they're really important. The first fear is the fear of rejection, and that is one of mine. It's the fear of being rejected. And this actually prevents you from expressing yourself openly and authentically. I was not able to speak up. I was submissive. I was a pleaser. God forbid if you ever freaking rejected me. It would trigger a fight and flight response in me, because I had strong abandonment wounds. So I've had to do a lot of healing around that. And I don't have a fear of rejection now. It's none of my business whether you reject me. In fact, it's nothing to do with me. It's when I reject myself. That is what is more important. And my relationship with myself, and to never walk out on myself. I just have come off my inner circle group coaching, and one of the women brought up about how her body, her soul, is her house, and people can come knocking, and it's your choice whether you let them into your house. I love that. And so how does that come into rejection? It's none of my business whether other people reject me, but it's all of my business if I reject me. If I leave my house, if I leave me, if I reject me. Anyway, I better keep going because I want to talk about the other ones. So fear of judgment, the fear of being judged or criticised, and people's opinions, their actions, their choices, leads you to not speaking up. Look, it's sort of similar to rejection, but in a way it is a bit different, but the fear of judgment. And so you will avoid that. You won't take any risks. You won't put yourself out there, and you will settle. You will settle in your life. Thirdly, the fear of failure. Of making a mistake. I can't tell you the amount of times I've heard that working with people is not speaking up, settling, because it's the fear of failure. I prefer to not feel that, so I won't even try. If this is speaking to you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Fear of vulnerability. Sharing one's true feelings, that takes a lot of guts, and you can only do that if you really come from a place of being able to be vulnerable. And when you emotionally expose yourself to people, and honestly, there is that fear. Again, a lot of this cycles back to the fear of rejection. Hello, Kim. Lovely to see you. Great to have you here. So, 5, the fear of conflict. Again, that's a really common one. Some people avoid speaking up. I did. I would do anything I could to not do conflict. I'd actually feel just in my body this absolute fear. So the fear of confrontation, particularly when I'm working with couples, particularly couples who we don't argue, we don't fight. Well, that's a load of bull, because you actually need to be able to fight, but fight fairly and to be able to speak up. So the fear of conflict is not healthy. The fear of change. Why do you think I call my business Power of Change? I hated change. It brought up massive anxiety for me. And I would do anything to not have change. Another fear is the fear of success. The fear of success is also, it is such a common barrier. Some individuals worry about the responsibilities and the expectations that come with success, so they just stay hidden, they settle. The fear of being alone, that's a big one, of being single, or being on your own. For a lot of people, they've never been on their own. So it's, I could do just a whole Facebook Live on that one. The fear of being alone, so I'll settle, I'll stay in a relationship that is not aligned, is not healthy for me, it's not life-giving, but I'll just settle because I have a fear of being alone. Look, I'm sure you may be able to relate to one or two of these. Another one is the fear of intimacy, the fear of getting close, of letting somebody in, having a deep emotional connection, and the ability to find a compatible partner. And so I will just settle. I will be with someone who, it's all surface. I'll settle and I'll just stay in that. So, how do you overcome some of these fears, or all of them? It's knowing that fear, we either in our body feel fear or love. And overcoming these fears, this is what I believe, is it involves a combination of self-awareness, self-compassion, and then gradual steps to actually challenge and change the limiting beliefs and the behaviours. And in my experience, it takes work. You've got to actually work through these fears and move towards a life where you're no longer settling, because you're actually going to feel it in your body, the resentment, if you aren't allowing yourself to move through this. So reclaiming your voice, to be able to find that voice within yourself, involves a process of self-discovery, self-empowerment, and self-expression. It's feeling the abundance inside of yourself. It's feeling the calmness from actually speaking up and knowing that you are empowered. You can feel it in your body. So I'm going to give you 8 ways now to begin unlocking your personal power. And so some of these I've talked about before. So self-reflection. Take time to reflect on your values, your passions, what stirs you up, what sparks you up, what gets that motivation going. It's understanding what truly matters to you, and what you want and how you want to communicate into the world. Being able to, my number 2 is being able to limit your limiting beliefs, recognizing, challenging your limiting beliefs, knowing what your successes are, being able to set boundaries. In my inner circle just earlier, we were talking about boundaries and learning how to set healthy boundaries that empower you to actually communicate. Being able to practice assertiveness is my number 4. Assertiveness is, excuse me, done a bit of talking this afternoon, so I'm really feeling in my voice a raspiness. Being able to practice assertiveness. Assertiveness is feeling that in the body. It's being able to trust that clear, confident communication. Excuse me. And being able to do that from this really sovereign, solid place within yourself. 5 is being able to surround yourself with really positive, supportive people. Seek out these positive, supportive people. This is what I love about my inner circle group, is that they are positive, assertive, confident people who are just growing and evolving and changing. My number 6 is embracing self-compassion. Be kind to yourself throughout this process, accepting that reclaiming your voice, it is a journey. And having kindness to be able to do this. I'm actually reading a book at the moment called, Self-Compassion with Kristen Neff. And gosh, it's a beautiful book. It's called Fierce Self-Compassion. And it's all about having compassion for yourself when you're having judgment, and understanding it's all about nurturing this inner world, because for you to be able to have a voice and to not settle, you've got to be able to nurture that inner world first. Also being able to express your creativity. You know, creativity is so important, and creativity is an inward energy, and it's feeling that in the body and being able to connect with that. Is any of this speaking to you? Love to hear from you in the comments, Facebook Live or hashtag. Let me know what resonates with you, what is sort of dropping in and landing, because feeling resentful and anger for settling and knowing that you can do better is one thing. It's about what you're going to do about it, because it's feeling abundance, it's feeling calm for speaking up and knowing that you are empowered. And so look, I've just given you really simple, sort of really surface level. What if you want to go deeper with this, I would encourage you to direct message me, and look, let's link up a discovery call. And this discovery call is to really look at what are you wanting, where are you settling, where are you wanting to find that personal power, and let's open that up and see where we can go with this, because it is identifying the barriers. That it really, when you can identify your barriers, it's going to help you in your growth. It's going to give you clarity, and because there will be vital steps that are missing, and it's really understanding that and and understanding that you have got a voice. It's really important that you connect with that inner voice, because if you connect with that inner voice and that empowerment that is within you, you're then going to have an outer voice, and then your outer world will begin to change. But it's got to change on the inside first. So if any of this is speaking, connect with me. Let's have a discovery call and see where that can go. But anyway, as per usual, I've run out of time. I really hope this has been helpful. This is why I do these Facebook Lives, to sort of tap in, and I'm hoping something has landed. Let me know what has landed for you and what you are going to actually perhaps begin doing, or perhaps you have been doing it in the past and you're going to actually bring that into your life starting from now, because it's your self-awareness, your self-compassion, and it's taking those gradual steps to challenge yourself and to change. There is no quick fix, I can assure you. It's a constant, consistent, daily checking in with yourself and coming home, going into that house of yours, which is your heart, your soul, and connecting inward. Anyway, on that note, gotta love you and leave you. And you know what? Enjoy living your empowered life, because you know what? The power of change is within you. See ya.